come back, I sort of, it occurred to me that in my head, your head, our heads, we have this thing called monkey chatter. And I'm going to develop this because of a nighttime when you want to sleep, we have this ability to have our own thoughts. It's sometimes our own voice trying to solve problems of a nighttime and of a daytime. It's an interesting time when we try to sleep and we can't shut the noise down. The monkey chatter is alive and well. Now, there's a lot of great people that we've bumped into over the course of years here on the night shift. Merv Neal is one of them. Merv Neal has Laughing Yoga Australia, and whenever I speak with him, we have a good laugh. But at the same time, there's that underlying element of relaxation for you and for me and for Merv. And that's what Merv teaches. Laughing yoga is a technique where you and I can volume control the chatter in the head to get to a point of peacefulness and of healing. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to say good day to Merv. G'day, mate. How are you?
Todd, Happy New Year to you. Every time I hear your voice, I get a little bit tingly. I don't know what it is, but you seem to do it to me. Good to talk to you.
Well, and I forgot too, I haven't spoken to you since last year, and it was quite a way into last year. Welcome back to Late Night Radio here. And tonight we're going to have a really good long discussion, Merv, because you've been teaching laughing yoga for such a long period of time now. When did you initially start?
2002, I got sick, then I got better, and it was 2005 after I'd been to the International Laughter Conference in Mumbai, India, that I actually devoted my life to it.
Right. And in Mumbai, gosh, I'm just thinking to myself, there's so many different East meets West, so many different philosophies. So there's the philosophy of slightly alternative approaches to healing. That would be one of them. And obviously you found success in just a good belly laugh. How did that, from your point of view, how did that heal you, if you don't mind me asking, Merv?
Not at all, and it wasn't until 2019 that I was invited onto a show on SBS called Medicine or Myth, and one of the health professionals on that show was a Dr. Charlie Teo. He's one of our notable neurosurgeons.
Sure.
Most people recognise the name, and he diagnosed me on national TV as experiencing pathological laughter. So this is where your brain hemorrhages and you start to bleed into the hypothalamus and have mini strokes. So that's how sick I was.
Wow.
But all of a sudden I started to laugh and I couldn't stop laughing, and it was hysterical laughter. And I just kept on laughing and laughing and laughing. And 8 months later, I was deemed to be totally cured, and I put it all down to the laughter. So the point of that short story, which is clearly a long one, is I didn't go looking for laughter to help me heal. It actually found me. And when it did, I thought maybe I can take this to other people. So that was my life's mission from that day on.
See, Merv, I'm so glad that we've got the ability to give you a bit of a hoy. I know that you're on the East Coast. You're staying up late for us, and I'm grateful for that. So Merv Neal is with us from Laughing Yoga Australia. And we laugh for different reasons. We laugh when something is funny, but we laugh, as you've discovered, for therapy and to get the endorphins and the blood flow going. We also have this unusual thing about sometimes when we're nervous, we laugh as well. Now, I am aware that if we are put into abnormal situations, sometimes we do have a bit of a giggle. Do you understand the philosophy of that? Is that the body or the brain trying to recalibrate what is happening to us to get us to a place where we are a bit more peaceful and we can make the correct decision?
It's an expression of our emotions, which are in the body. So all of a sudden we get an emotion that says, oh, I'm really anxious here. I'm on Perth radio. What if I say something wrong? And that anxiety, if I was to start laughing, would indicate anxiety. So the type of laughter that we exhibit indicates exactly how we're feeling inside, which of course then influences our thought process and gives us a lack of confidence or lack of self-esteem or lack of trust or whatever it is. So it all begins with the laugh. So over the period, Todd, I've had the ability to observe people laughing, and maybe we'll get to talk about the laughing, which is what I'm deep diving into presently. And this is where we've done 2 research studies on observing as well as listening to people laughing. And guess what? You watch someone who is anxious, they laugh like an anxious person, but they look like an anxious person as they do. So this is how we can analyse people, especially with mental health conditions, and say you're exhibiting all of this sort of stuff through your laughter and through the process of your body laughing. Let's change a few things, which then changes the whole scenario.
That's brilliant. I never actually thought about that. This is sort of cutting edge technique in observation. and also, I guess, in diagnosis as well. So you're using laughter and observation of laughter to diagnose issues that potentially can help people heal from within.
Absolutely correct. So it's called the Laughy. It's a concept that was created by a doctor in Monaco who I was chatting to only about 15 minutes ago. And the whole concept is, what if we could just laugh for 1 minute every day at the start of the day? What if we just started the day with a laugh, whether it's a forced laugh or simulated laugh or real laugh or whatever? Let's just start the day laughing. But the thing that we do, Todd, is we record it. So we record ourselves laughing for 1 minute per day. That then gets sent through to a data bank for someone like myself to analyse it. And then the person is asked to laugh with it another 3 times throughout the day to help boost their mood. So this is the concept of laughing for the sake of laughing to see what the outcome is. And over a period of time, I've done 2 research studies over 30 days with 2 different groups of people. We've got another 2 different groups lined up. And I can not just hear their laughter change, but I can turn the sound off and I can watch them change to a more joyful, happy, relaxed person. It's just fascinating watching the combination of the 2 at play.
I keep hearing the term gratitude in a lot of conversations that are happening at the moment. And you said the word, forced laughter. Now, I'm very much aware that, sometimes we don't feel like laughing, but if we put ourselves in a situation where we might see a cat video or something, we'll have a bit of a smile and a bit of a laugh. And sometimes it is forced, but it's funny, isn't it, Merv? Because even forced laughter will change the chemistry within ourselves to a certain point where we can start to move out of anxious moments. We can start to move out of the inside chatter in our brain. We can turn the volume down a little bit. So forced laughter is beneficial because after a while you realise it just becomes laughter.
Now, you and me who have a good, healthy, positive mindset understand that and can do it.
Right.
Try to get someone who's not in that mindset to do it. It's a real challenge. And this is when the monkey chatter kicks in and we just can't silence the monkey chatter and it starts to drive us crazy.
It does.
So essentially, positive psychology, and hopefully I'll plug my book before the end of this interview, is all about changing the mindset, not changing the brain, but changing the mindset. And we change the mindset through the brain, which is a part of the body. So as long as I can get your body laughing for a minute, your brain is a part of your body. It releases the chemicals throughout your body and you start to feel fantastic. And then all of a sudden the mind goes, why is body feeling so good? Maybe I should be positive. And that helps to stop the monkey chatter.
Right. And this is exactly where we will take a break, mate, because I want to continue this on monkey chatter. Plus, you've mentioned the book. I didn't even mention the book for a starter, and I want to find out a little bit more. We're talking to Merv Neal from Laughing Yoga Australia. There's a lot to take in. This is sort of under the broad umbrella of the monkey chatter scenario. But if we can help, and if Merv can help you and I to tone down what is happening in our heads when we're trying to relax, I think that's a big winner. We'll be back with Merv straight after this on 6PR. Merv Neal is with us. He hasn't left the line, which is really good news, and that's why I'm smiling. Merv Neal from Laughing Yoga Australia. Merv was telling us about so many different techniques moments ago, forced laughter becoming normal laughter, also the fact that we have the ability, Merv and myself, to assess situations. But as you said just a moment ago, Merv, some people don't have that ability, but they want to slow the monkey chatter down. Now, from your point of view, with laughing yoga and with a good belly laugh and a bit of a giggle, what chemistry does change in the brain to slow things down?
Yeah, it's heaps. And the 4 major ones that I talk about is dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphin. So DOSE, we give you a dose of chemicals that get flooded throughout your body because the brain goes, I tell you what, body's having a good time, I'd better respond. Now, the mind's over here on our shoulder, I don't know, on the windowsill somewhere going, don't do that. Why are you doing that? And that's the monkey mind that can be very, very damaging.
Yes.
So with the laughter, Todd, guess what? We can't hear the monkey mind. We actually drown it out. And I found this when I was presenting at the Voice Hearers Conference here in Melbourne at the Convention Centre many years ago now, BC, before COVID. And the people said, the voice hearers that I was talking to, if only we could drown out this constant noise, this constant chatter. So guess what 2 things they do? They sing, and I said, well, if you can sing, let's laugh. And as soon as they sung, as soon as they admitted the joyful experience, which was laughter, even if it wasn't real, guess what? They couldn't hear.
Brilliant.
voice. It's
Brilliant.
gone.
So the laughter and the singing, it's drowning out. And I'm assuming also it's assisting with blood flow and getting the chemical balance right, which is what we do need for peace and tranquility. Gosh, we're going to have to continue this conversation. But look, you did mention the book. I've got to find out about the book. What have you been up to? And tell me about the book if you don't mind.
No, not at all. COVID wasn't all bad for all people.
Okay.
And I was one of the people that it was very good for, because as soon as my business got smashed back in March 2020, like, I went broke overnight, because all the stuff that I did was in person and everybody cancelled because, of course, we couldn't be around other people.
Yeah.
So I thought to myself, I've got to go online. I've got to put everything online. So I went to my laughter buddies and said, I'm putting everything online. They said, you can't. I said, I've got to. I'll just be put out of business. Otherwise, I need to find myself another business. So what was interesting, I went online, and then someone from Monaco, I've already mentioned their name, Dr. Frida Gunot-Szapinski, just sent me an email saying, I've been watching you. I'm going, oh, people talk online. And she said, I love what you're doing in Australia. Didn't know of you. Let's have a chat. And all of a sudden, her professor in charge of all of her studies, he was on the line, Professor Jerome Carson. And then all of a sudden they said, let's write a book. Let's write a book called The Positive Psychology of Laughter and Humour.
Brilliant.
Now, both of these people are high-level doctors, professors and researchers in the area of positive psychology. And so much has been written about humour, but next to nothing about laughter. So we've put laughter at the forefront and even above humour to say, don't let the mind determine whether this is humorous or not. Let's just laugh and see what impact that has on the positive psychology of the individual. And that's what the book's all about. Now, it's an academic book. It's not a self-help book, so don't go looking for it at Dymocks or any of the major bookstores. It's not there, but it's going to go through to every university and every person studying psychology throughout the world. So we're a bit excited about that.
So that's amazing. Number one, on so many different levels, you're going to help the people that are teaching and the scientists and the practitioners, etc., which I think is brilliant. But I also want to, I also, if I read it, acknowledging that it's a scientific presentation, it's a scientific publication, if I read it, would I get a certain amount of understanding out of it, or would I have to be at that theoretical and philosophical level to actually understand the techniques? Because when you and I talk, we always, and again, be it laughing yoga where we're busting a gut and having a good laugh, or just this conversation, because to me, while we're talking about this, I'm learning about my ability to tone down the monkey chatter. You're studying this. You're studying the relationship between laughter as opposed to humour. There's so much in this, Merv. I think we're just scratching the surface.
Oh, indeed we are. And in the book, should you choose to get it or be able to access it somehow, it'll be released 9th of May, I think, in a couple of weeks' time, but it's already on the website. I've already sent you the link. And with the book, there's 3 chapters written by just a guy, and that's me. So it's written by a non-academic who they call a pracademic. Now, I thought when they called me a pracademic, I thought they might have been taking the mickey out of me.
You've got to be careful how you say that, Merv, by the way.
Indeed. Slowly with good diction.
Well done.
And I said, what the heck is a pracademic? And they said, someone who brings the practical side of things to the academic knowledge, and that's who you are. So my 3 chapters was written as if I was Merv and a non-academic, and people will get so much out of reading that, because it comes with case studies as well too. And I've already done 2 research studies, but along the way there's case studies. And what they call it nowadays, Todd, is citizen science. So we've got the academics doing academic science, but there's a whole thing called citizen science, where citizens like myself are actually out there and creating the concept of science through stories.
Brilliant.
And Professor Jerome Carson said, and I just, it's in my mind, this is my monkey mind, he said the plural of a story is not data, it's more stories. He said, we've got to start researching stories. So they're doing with pracademics and citizen scientists like myself, and it's called Integrated Collaborative Autoethnography, where we're researching stories. And it's just so exciting.
See, Merv, that to me is what Talkback Radio is about: stories. It's not about data.
Indeed.
Computers are
Indeed.
about data. Telephone calls are about data. But stories is one-on-one relationships, and other people are listening, eavesdropping to our conversation at the moment. The monkey chatter thing to you, what I love is that when I rang you up initially and said, hey, I want to talk about monkey chatter, you went, got this. And I thought, yes, you understand it. It's something that sort of just quietly bubbled into my, I guess, universe. It's something that I've always been aware of, but everyone else has their own element of monkey chatter. And I think compliments of the isolation, COVID, et cetera, so many different elements of our weird and wonderful world that we look at. Even the big screens are showing me, wars all over the world at the moment. It's a bizarre time. We, at the same time, are trying to down the volume of the monkey chatter. And I think we can have this conversation, often, because you have helped me and probably helped others at the same time. And I know that you've just scratched the surface. You as a citizen scientist in our community, there's a lot more stories that we need to talk about, Merv.
Yeah, well, what's interesting, Todd, and let's do this on a regular basis. I always enjoy these chats with you. And what's interesting about it all is if I get put in front of a group to do my laughter stuff with laughter yoga, laughter, whatever it is, the first thing I do is go to the science. I go to the research. I go to the data. I go to the medicine books and find out that. And then I go and talk to someone with the condition. I want to hear their story. And Todd, the story is nowhere near the rest of the stuff. So I have to bring the person's story into the science of it and bring the two of them together. And apparently I do it really, really well. And someone with depression or anxiety will say, all I hear on a negative loop is how my life is not worth it anymore. I shouldn't be doing this. Why is the situation's hopeless? And Todd, we just went through this with COVID, didn't we?
Yeah.
We had all this barrage of this negativity. We're going through it now with several wars overseas. So I am grateful every day when I watch those stories and just be thankful that I'm in Australia. So that's where gratitude plays such a big part to help me through it. But listening to the stories of people going through a lived experience is what I then go and tell others. And apparently it's really valuable.
Merv, great to talk to you, mate. Thank you once again. I know a good belly laugh is always good for us, but this has been an amazing discussion. We will continue again, Merv Neal from Laughing Yoga Australia. We'll be back. I'll get my people to talk to your people. Let's do it again soon, please.
Thanks, buddy. Take care.
God bless you, mate. And thank you. Merv Neal, True Blue Australian. You just heard it in his tone and his voice and his laughter. And folks, again, if a good belly laugh is good for your soul, then let's unleash one where we possibly can. Let's take a break. Back soon on 6PR.